Hello and good morning to Ms. Diana and all fellow classmates. Today, me, Maisarah binti Muszahar and Zahirah binti Minhat will talk about the ideas and sentiments held by citizens toward the acquisition of a second language. The thesis statement for this ARB is the ideas and sentiments that some citizens held toward the acquisition of a second language is they felt it's hard to understand when compared to their native language, and they have a strong sense of their own language impersonality over the other languages, and a feeling of inferiority with regard to the linguistic ability. And lastly, for the adult learners, they often felt that they are too late to acquire second language because of age barriers. For the introduction, I will explain about the second language acquisition. Second language acquisition have two meanings, which is the first one, the process of learning a second language, and the second one, it is the name of the theory that describes the process of learning a second language. Second language acquisition is a subconscious process that occurs while we concentrate on communication. It also helps us in learning language through more conscious processes. Learning a second language involves both speaking and understanding it. The culture of the learner can be a barrier to second or foreign language learning. Some learners may have difficulty communicating with their target native speakers because of their cultural differences. The first topic sentence is they felt it is comparatively difficult to understand when compared to their native tongue. The first supporting details is despite the fact that Japanese and Chinese are both East Asian languages, they do not pattern alike when it comes to syntactic and semantic centrality due to their structural differences. Unlike Japanese, Chinese displays traits in both head initial and head final languages, allowing both right-headed and left-headed phrases as its sentence structures. The second supporting details is speakers of Indonesian experience more difficulties than English speakers when remembering the tense of action they witness. A logical conclusion of this finding is that since Indonesian's verbs do not include tenses, an Indonesian speaker will not place as much value on this detail when remembering or transmitting information about events. The second topic sentence is they have a strong feeling of the superiority of their own linguistic personality over the other language. The second details is language identification is defined here as the extent to which people define themselves and others via the use of languages. The second supporting details, adapting to social identity theory, refers to Borda and Borda in 2015, a good and intimate relationship between language and social identity, proposing a notion of linguistic identity to capture the way that individuals define themselves and others through language use, being an integral part of individual social identities in MNCs.
For topic sentence number 3, a sense of inadequacy regarding their linguistic competence due to the fact that it is challenging for them to adjust when speaking other languages. So, supporting details number 1, many ESL migrants in Australia face linguistic subordination for the way they speak English. Consequently, these migrants suffer from linguistic inferiority complex, psychological and emotional damage, which result in self-marginalization, self-vindication, loss of sense of belonging, social withdrawal, fear, anxiety, and erosion of self-confidence. We find that there is a direct link between linguistic subordination and linguistic inferiority complex. Supporting details number 2, the 1980s continued to see increasing awareness of silence as a statement of refusal to communicate, a form of control and resistance in classroom settings, as a multiplicity of meanings in speech communication. For topic sentence number 4, many people who are learning second language as adults have the misconception that it is too late for them to do so because of age constraints. Is it true? So, let's see supporting details number 1. A large number of studies in the L2 acquisition literature have demonstrated that adult learners often fail to acquire native-like competence in the second language. Supporting details. Number 2, the failure of many adult L2 learners to acquire native-like linguistic representations is often attributed to maturational changes in the brain, such as lack of or incomplete access to UG or less effective procedural learning. For the conclusion, as a result, the majority of citizens' attitudes toward the acquisitions of a second language show that they believe that it is difficult to learn second language before they try because of certain sentiments. The sentiments are, there are 3 sentiments that I have stated before, which is other languages are more difficult to learn than one native language, has doubt about their linguistic abilities, age becomes an obstacle for adult learners. These sentiments can make people afraid to learn a second language because they undermine their confidence in learning a new language. So this is my suggestions. The government should encourage people to learn a second language and instill a positive mindset in people. Academies and schools should create a fun environment for students to learn a second language in order for them to learn it easily and without stress. Thank you.